All right. Yeah, next part of Alex. Let's go.
Everybody who's having fun, and I can't wait to be a robot. One of the guys on Joe's show that I know, Retzel or whatever his name is, he's an interesting guy, but the point is, they're all just, it's going to be fun. I want to take DMT today. And I'll merge with a robot. I'll try anything. The architecture of it is anti-human. The way this whole thing has been set up is to end us. I mean, do I need to read to you every week where they're releasing the ingredients and how to design deadly bird flu, deadly mouse pox, and then the globalists, all they do is sit around talking about how they want to kill everybody all day. And then they infect the human mind that we're ugly, we're bad, the earth will be better for us. So we have a psychological memory, a race consciousness of being anti-human. And these people go, well, yeah, they are going to get rid of us. I know that's true. But so what? We deserve to die. Oh, and the elite deserve to steal all the ingenuity that came from the common people, and they get to go to the stars? Like it's cool to just bend over and get your head chopped off? I don't care if Apple uses slaves and they're replacing them with robots. That's more for me. Every time I'm like, they're shutting down power plants. I don't care. I don't own stock in power plants. You're going to pay more? Yeah. It's just, and then these people do deserve to die, by the way. They want to be, they're unnatural in this system. In the natural, see, the globalists create the artificial system to make you evil, and then you beg to be destroyed, and then they kill you. The problem is they're targeting the most virtuous people as well, in H.G. Wells' own words, in this book, The New World Order, Top Globalist. He said, we're going to have to kill the very best people because they're not compatible in this. Oh, that's a really good, oh yeah, that's a really good group to join right there. Folks, at the end of it is darkness, is death, is pure evil. You can see the fruits of it. Historically, you know it. You see the robots will never hurt. Anyone that says that's a kook. Meanwhile, almost all the funding, the Pentagon, everything, is to absolutely target and enslave and shut off the economy as they build giant bases of hunter-killer robots of every type. Land, sea, air, submarines, you name it, hundreds of air drones, designs flooding out, huge automated factories, just mega warfare against humanity. It's like space aliens came and took over the Pentagon and DARPA and are having their complicit humans work with them to build the enemy takeover. And I don't believe that, but I mean, that's basically how anti-human this is. And I mean, it's scientific, it's cold-blooded, and it's coming down. And then we're all dead. And we've barely stopped 3 nuclear wars before. And all you idiot yuppies send me emails and I see comments making jokes about this. You people are idiots. I would like to literally punch your eyes out if you said that to my face. I got a family. I got 3 children. Just because you're uninformed and think everything's a joke doesn't mean the rest of us have to go to hell with you. Hollywood should want to hire him to play the next Silence of the Lambs because there's no actor that can look this whacked out crazy. I mean, take George W. Bush and all his weirdness. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, these are people that get in coffins hundreds of times and giant pits of feces and have sex with each other. I mean, what do you call it psychologically? I mean, if you don't believe in these entities like they do, okay, it doesn't exist. Doesn't matter. They believe entities possess them in pits of feces. I mean, we have a Secretary of State who has asked entities to enter his body while having sex in large vats of feces with men peeing on him. They even made a movie, The Good Shepherd, about this. Robert De Niro produced it, and it was hailed as historically accurate with men peeing on each other. I mean, I'm sorry, we have family audiences, but that's what they're doing. And how much more will we put up with these people? It is chapter 322 officially of the Illuminati, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the...
Founded by the Illuminati in 1832, on record. These people follow a 4,000-year-old Egyptian death cult, okay? That's who's running things, wallowing in feces. That's what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. a Secretary of State that has had sex in giant vats of feces. And I dare the media to attack me on this because that's exactly who they are. Go ahead, make fun of me because it's all on record. And it's all come out. And go ahead and try to make me look crazy talking about that. I don't care. You're the ones that are crazy following these people. And that's what hit me last night was I have been holding back. I know they're monsters. Why does Kerry look so weird? Why does he act so weird? Why do they lie? Why can't they help not lying? Why was Kerry about to collapse over and over again watching the testimony? Go back and review it from yesterday's testimony to the Senate. He's in the House today. He would have to, when they were talking, have to lean his head down and like put his hands on the table and just, because, I mean, folks, imagine he's been possessed by this stuff so long, like Aleister Crowley was. Can you imagine what it's like being under that? Thank God I'm among the living. Thank God I love life. Thank God I've got red blood and gusto and honor and courage and love of life and innocence. Man, it feels good to be on the side of good. I not want to be a part of evil. These servants are evil are jokes. Let me tell you something. I said this to the crew earlier today, and they said, well, you got to say that on air, but it's true. Evil ain't cool and evil ain't fun. And the path of evil lives in the heart of all of those that serve evil. And what was my full quote you said was good? It was a quick quote. You said we ought to make a liner out of it. Evil isn't good for you, bitches. We're going to play a short clip of this. This is a quote. Said, there are no allegations.
Do you want to know something? I'm watching Rosemary's Baby in a minute. All them old films have all this kind of occultist things built into them, but that one specifically, because there's a bit where she gets drugged and goes to sleep, and she dreams she's being raped by a monster, but it's so like it's the devil. And then when she wakes up in the morning, he says he slept with her while she was unconscious, and he says it was kind of sexy in a necrophiliac kind of way. I was like, fucking hell. You'd never get someone say that in a movie nowadays. But it's obviously that is a, like, well, I haven't finished the movie, so I don't know where the movie's going, but I'll watch it all, and it's like, it's so built with occult things. And even things like, I'm talking about Rosemary's Baby, there's just like a little bit where they're sat at the table and they're just mocking Catholicism. Oh, you don't believe in that? Like just a little small conversation where they like mock and it's just all these little occultist satanic things built into that movie. Watch it. It's a great movie. Great movie.
That the NSA is trying to listen on people's email. That's even worse than saying the polar bears are all dying. I mean, that's like saying, folks, the sun blew up today. You can walk out and see it. That's like walking out at midnight and saying it's high noon. That's like saying Santa Claus is real or something. I mean, it's not true, folks. Of course, he's saying there's not even allegations when it's on record. Just like Gibbs said, we were told to go say there's no drone program when it had been admitted to exist for at least 5 years. Excuse me. Said I'd go to your calls. I just get so upset. So upset. There's missing nuclear weapons. I'm sick of it. Bunch of crazy people. I mean, you take one look at Obama and all those narcissists. You take one look at those shallow scum at that committee hearing. They are a bunch of people on power trips, and they need to be stopped. They are a menace. They are a menace. A menace. And the good news is, you've got all these prominent people coming out saying it's a false flag and saying we're working with Al-Qaeda and saying it's to save Obama's bacon, and the Democrats are even admitting that and saying, well, we better save his bacon. Save his bacon? How about save our bacon? What is your problem out there, people? You've lived so long under freedom, you don't appreciate anything. I'm talking to people that support the New World Order. You're morons. The New World Order is the biggest fraud to ever hit this planet. The New World Order is look at everything they do. They're a bunch of bad people. Anything they do is bad. They're rounding up homeschoolers that have fled here because homeschooling's illegal in a bunch of European countries, mainly Germany's, is the main case. And when the people come here, I mean, we're talking scientists, doctors, people come here with the proper visas. Homeland Security grabs them and ships them back to Germany, where the parents are put in prison for homeschooling. and the children are taken and then drugged by the state to where they're not mentally ill anymore. Last week's warrant in Germany when they SWAT teamed teenage homeschoolers, these incredibly prominent, well-to-do scientist parents and everybody. It's always like, the most intelligent want to homeschool their kids. They SWAT team them, a homeschooling group, and then the judge put in the warrant, and if the kids give you any trouble, use lethal force, they're cult members. They believe their parents are their guardian. You can read the German translation in the newspapers. I mean, and our sick, filthy government thinks the kids belong to them and agrees with Germany, and it's Hitler-era law on the state running the kids. They will take people's children if they don't take vaccines. Now, if you go in and you're upper middle class...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the statistic on that, but that's kind of an interesting thing. More intelligent people homeschool their kids. That should tell people something.
You fill out a birth plan, say no to vaccines, act like you know what you're talking about. The criminals, even though they don't know they're criminals, it's a criminal training, will case you and go, this one knows their rights. But if you go in and they'll come in and say, you didn't give shots, the CPS is here to see if you know how to feed your baby right. And, of course, babies always can't nurse perfectly at first. They go, let's see if the baby does it right away. Oops, the baby refused twice. Your kid's ours. Ah! And then tell you they took them because... you weren't giving vaccines, but really they just go to the court and they say, we won't take your kid. Just sign this plan to admit that you have done bad and that you'll do better, which is really revoking your rights to them. And then they literally, like in The Little Mermaid, when the witch gets the document, they go, you'll never see that kid again. I mean, just the most satanic, murdering scum. And I just broke down and cried for hours. Because I realized I'm a slave, I'm a piece of filth, I'm dominated by criminals, and they're going to take kids, and they're going to do whatever they want to them, and I'm going to let them do it. Because they got badges and guns, and they're God, and that's the end of it. Excuse me. They're going to take our guns, our children, our land, our money, our freedom, our future, our health, and we're going to let them do it because that's what we are. Excuse me. I've already warned a couple people this week. I'll just leave it up to God and hope somebody else I've told to go warn people will tell them. I just can't do it today. Because I got to go turn my charm on, and then I might have to argue with them, and it's exhausting caring. It's exhausting, but at the same time, that kid, they're going to murder that kid if we don't do something about it. I want to beat somebody's ass right now. You want to get right down to the bottom line? I am sick of all this crap. I am sick of all the bullies and all the scumbags about vaccines the CDC and the vaccine industry don't want you to do. You know what I want? I don't even have time to tell the nightly news what I want them to cover every night. You know what I want covered tomorrow night? I want this covered tomorrow night. I want GMOs covered. I want what's going on covered. I want to fight these son of a bitches. I don't want to have half measures. I don't want to die and have them win. I'm sick of their crap. And I don't know how to totally beat them, but first, like Howard Beale says in Network, you've got to get mad. You've got to get angry, you got to find your humanity, and you got to start kicking some New World Order ass in the info war before this thing gets physical. These people are your enemy. They are never going to stop. They're never going to deviate from their program until we stop them. And you either wake up to that our government's pure evil, funding al-Qaeda to murder Christians worldwide, running them, or you kneel to this system because you think it's popular and you just kind of go along with it and have a drink on the New World Order and just sit back and drink beer and watch football. That's too depressing, man. I choose to think everything's good. Boy, let me tell you, hell would be locked up with a bunch of guys like that. Hell would be locked up with people like that just put up with all this stuff. You guys aren't men. You are the equivalent of 12-year-olds who watched Madison Avenue programming and were taught you weren't cool. So your whole life you do whatever the system says, trying to be cool, trying to get acceptance, trying to be part of the system. There is no system. There's an artificial construct that they're trying to insert us into. And before it's completed, we have to sabotage it immediately any way we can. And like great white sharks, just like Stefan Molyneux said, when humans don't see their cage, they're very easy to control. Once we see it, we're like great white sharks chewing through the nets. We just have to collectively reach out with our pinky and just shove the New World Order, and we can rip their arms out like Beowulf pulling Grendel's arm out of its socket. You could just blow at the New World Order. If we all started doing it, they would fall over. They would burn into flame. Why do you think they hate us and try to dumb us down and poison us? Because the minute we start moving like a glacier, it will crush them. Do you understand that? These people need to be annihilated. And you need to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. I don't say that because I don't think about how I want to annihilate them. I'm like a mother who can pick a car up off their baby because it's screaming and begging for help that's been documented over and over again. It's that same instinct, and that's what you need to go for. What you hear in my disgust with these people is the primal survival instinct to get them off of us. To get them off of us. That's what you're hearing. And that's what you need to have. You need to have that spirit. Get off me. Get off me. You ever had a couple bullies thinking they get you down and really start hurting you? All of a sudden you got all that strength and you just get up and start just breaking arms, man. That's what I'm talking about politically. You got to set your eye on the enemy, not worry about what propaganda they put out. You're the enemy. You're the scum. You're the filth. You're the murderers. You're going down. We're never stopping. Hell or high water. We're going over the top, and you're never going to stop us. Do you understand that? That's what I'm talking about, and that's what they're scared of, is that spirit. And it is the spirit of 1776, and you need to ask God for it today. And I'm telling you, God will deliver it, because you think I'm mad, you think you're mad. Can you imagine the Creator that gives us everything that's good, but has to give us free will, so evil is there to test us? Can you imagine how much God that gives us all the good things, our children, everything? Can you imagine what God thinks about this? Can you imagine? And it'll just be, oh my gosh, we're all so scared. We better do whatever we're told now and hunt down the people that did it. Because after all, you don't want to argue with this and say that the government might have done. I mean, they would never. Sure, they'd give over 100 million Americans knowingly cancer viruses to die horribly excruciating deaths years later. On record, but they would never kill 60, 70,000 and blind another 50,000 and burn hundreds. I mean, they would not. Sure, they'd kill tens of millions, but they would not. I mean, sure. I mean, the government funded Al-Qaeda in Syria, and the UN did get caught sterilizing people in Africa with tetanus shots. They had hormones added to them to do. But
Yeah. He just drops so much great stuff as well. And his references, like when Beowulf rips Thingy's arms off, there's another reference he drops in there. I've never heard someone use the mum lifting cars off like that either, as a metaphor for themselves. I've never, like, you hear people say that humans get crazy strength when in a high pressure situation, and that's an example they give. But the fact is, it's been documented over and over again. In case you're doubting it, it's documented. Yeah, and also I like what you said about trying to be cool, trying to be part of the thing. Like, I see that more and more. It seems like that kind of young people don't look at old people as something they want to be. It's like the older people are looking at the young people's new trendy things and trying to keep on top of them when they're like 40. And it's like, bro, oh, yeah, I definitely notice that. But yeah, request some more Alex too, because like I say, I do really enjoy watching Alex. But yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.